What's going on, everybody? Thanks for clicking on today's video. I hope you're all staying safe and making smart decisions. Ubisoft released the designer's notes for the upcoming patch, including Jager's nerf. With it comes some important insight and useful details. Let's get started. To start off the article, they reference an interview where they said, "So, if professional players are not happy with our proposed features, then that means we are going in the right direction." They clarify, saying they don't want to intentionally frustrate these players, but they want to ensure that the professional players are legitimately the best and not exploiting a meta. I really agree with this statement. Having obvious metas is such an annoying part of many games. Having to play a certain gun or class and never playing any other class due to it not fitting in the meta is a really awful game mechanic and lazy development in my opinion. Games like Destiny were really bad for having meta issues, where a certain god role is something that all players would go after, and you'd go into a PvP match knowing exactly what gun everybody in the match would be running. It was awful. No matter how many changes Bungie put into their game, there was always an established meta. But the devs of Rainbow Six Siege obviously work hard to ensure everything is balanced, and they use charts like the ones we'll see later in the article to implement these balance changes to negate metas from forming. The dev notes continue to state that since professional players are masters of the game, they often resist changes coming into the game, because changes mean they have to alter their playstyle and can disrupt their team's composition while being beneficial to others. Furthermore, the devs state that they plan to adjust how they respond to provided feedback and explain why they make decisions contrary to that input. They try to make decisions based on data and feedback to achieve the best course of action. As we'll see in some of the changes coming later in the article, it's obvious how significant of an impact the playstyle of the pros have on the balancing of the game. Some changes are made specifically because of the pro leagues and high-skilled players, often meaning to low-skilled players that these changes will be very arbitrary and unnecessary, just making bad characters even worse. Rainbow Six Siege is a strong esport game, which is the explanation for the pro-centric changes. But that's just the nature of the game. It does sacrifice the needs of the casual players a bit, but again, this game has a low appeal to casual players. Many of my friends don't like the game because of the slow pace and the need to take every match seriously. The devs go on to state they want to improve communication on decisions that contradict professional players' feedback, like the Jager nerf, but they can't do this for all decisions. Additionally, they'll provide context for what players the changes are targeting. Next in the article, we get the win delta and pick rate graphs. Again, as stated earlier, this data is taken exclusively from high-skill players on PC, because these are the players that changes are often targeted at to increase competitiveness of the game. So as we can see in the graph, Ashe and Zofia are outliers for pick rate, but not too bad. Likely we'll see small nerfs to Ashe. Our two snipers aren't looking too good. Balancing them will be tricky, because small buffs to Glaz makes him way too strong. And Callie is a very unique operator. It'll be hard to change her to make her better while keeping her uniqueness. I predict we'll see her gadget reserves increase so she can fire more shots. This would make her more versatile while not affecting her killing ability, which is currently really good at this point for players that have good aim. It's nice to see Iana performing at a very well balanced place though. On the defender graph, we can still see Jager soaring off the charts for pick rate. This just isn't fun since you can guarantee that every round he'll have a presence. Valkyrie is slightly too high. Balancing her will be difficult though since she shares a gun with one of the worst operators in the game, Warden. The devs won't be able to nerf her killing ability because Warden will become utterly useless if he's not already. I suspect the devs will make her cameras more easily able to be seen. This way it'll take away some of her utility. Castle, Smoke, and Warden all appear to need buffs in order to increase their win delta and pick rates. I think Warden's ability should be a passive, like Ying's glasses for her Candelas, but his glasses should get temporarily disabled by Thatcher. I feel like this would be a good change for him and make him much easier to use. Oryx is low, and I suspect this is due to the nature of his ability. It's likely really hard to learn and master it, so he isn't seeing a lot of pick rate or success in ranked matches. And there's no need to address Tachanka because we know an overhaul is coming to him. We'll address Goyu later. Clash is pretty low, but as we can see in the next graph, this will seem odd. Clash is the third most banned defender in the game. This is so weird to see, since rounds that she has played, the defending team is most likely going to lose. but she can be really annoying and not enjoyable to deal with, so I guess that's why people are banning her. Mira and Echo are banned very often. This is expected, and I don't suspect that will change anytime soon. A good Mira can make an unbreakable defense setup, and Echo's ability is just way too good for Bomb, which is the game that ranked and pro leagues play. If the devs want to reduce his ban rate, they're going to need to remove the ability of Yokai to disrupt a diffuser plant. Jackal is still often banned. Honestly, I'm surprised to see it as low as it is. I haven't played a single ranked game where Jackal isn't banned. He's just so annoying to deal with. I think the devs should reduce his ability down to ping the defender only once, no matter what color their footsteps were. Thatcher is banned often because of how disruptor he can be to a defender setup. I don't think he is in any way unbalanced though, just a necessary addition to the team since he's so versatile. If my proposed buff to Callie comes, then she could become a better alternative to Thatcher. And lastly, we get a surprise nerf. Goyu is losing his shield, which as we can see by the graph, he is weak and on paper needs a buff. This decision is 100% because of pro leagues. Since there is a strong gadget meta there, he's too frustrating in the esports scene. So the devs are making an on-paper bad operator worse. Again, this is where the faults in sharing weapons between operators comes. How can you buff him to be better in ranked while not making Mira banned even more and make him not annoying in pro league? It's tricky, and I definitely would not want to be in the devs' shoes here. Well, that's the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was very informative for you. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Stay safe.